So I'm pandering, sue me. Welcome back to the Miscellaneous channel where we do miscellaneous things. I'm Zeleny. I typically cover TV, pop culture, internet trends, and other miscellaneous things on this channel, so subscribe if that's your vibe. So today, I wanted to do a chill, low-key, less scripted type of video to hold us over while we wait for the Ultimatum Season 2 to come out on Netflix. I wanted to make sure you had a little bit of content before I start really hustling on the Ultimatum. These types of videos are really nice because my usual long Love is Blind or Ultimatum recaps take so much work, and these videos are more of a chill vibe, but hopefully something a few people are still interested in. I was gonna make a video about the writer's strike, and I still might, but I kind of felt like that would be a lot of research and work for like 3 people to watch the video. So let me know if you're interested in learning more about the writer's strike. It's something I find really fascinating, but I know at least y'all love Love is Blind. I also wanted to take this video as a moment to sort of reflect on Love is Blind seasons 1 through 4. I feel like the show has established itself. We have a pretty large amount of cast members that we've seen, so I was curious myself to figure out how the different casts of the different seasons stack up against each other in my mind. Also, by the way, I don't know if y'all are following the Gold Cup saga of my channel. So in my Love is Blind season 4 videos, I talked about the Gold Cup, and I wanted to get a Gold Cup of my own, and I have that now. And then right after I put out my videos, Love is Blind came out with their own Gold Cup that is a branded, and so I got it, and it's really hard to tell because of the light reflecting, but this one says Love is Blind on it. I didn't want to get an official Love is Blind cup necessarily, but I was hoping that if I bought the cup straight from the Netflix store, it would be that more like bronzy matte finish that the cups have, because on the show the cups are not this reflective, because it'd probably be a nightmare for like the lighting and stuff. I'm here to report that the cup I got on Amazon was cheaper, and it is the exact same cup that Netflix will give you. You might as well just write Love is Blind in Sharpie on the Amazon one. It was like $10 cheaper. So just squeezing in a little product review that nobody asked for. So let's go ahead and get started on our ranking. First, I want to discuss like the categories I made. Every single time I make a ranking video, I end up by the end of it upset at the categories I made, and like the whole experiment just unravels as I go for some reason. Like for example, when I did my rom-com ranking, it felt like the best rom-coms were at the top and then the worst ones were at the bottom naturally. But when I think about which rom-coms I enjoy the most, I enjoy the very best ones and the very worst ones. So really the ones I least enjoy are the middle ones. It just becomes this whole calculation that it doesn't make sense. I end up questioning my whole life by the end of these. So for this ranking, I try to give it some thought, and I think I came up with some good ranking categories. How do you screen record on an iPad? Boomer moment. At first, I was thinking, okay, I'm just gonna rank every contestant by who is the best person and the worst person. But when I thought of that, I was like, morality is not the best way to rank these people, because first of all, we don't know them in real life. We don't know how moral or not moral they are, and also they are in a reality show. Being a good person doesn't necessarily equal being great at being on television. So I decided to rank the contestants in order of best for reality TV to worst for reality TV. So I'm thinking about them in an entertainment lens. And as I always say, we don't really know these people, and we don't know how they act in real life. So I will be judging them based on their TV personas that they have shown us, maybe a little bit if they're very active online. I'll base some of my opinions on them from like their influencer-ness in the wild, but even then, this is just for fun, and your ranking will probably differ a lot from mine. So as a top category, I have my I stan this person, the world needed to see them. Usually this is probably gonna be like people that were heroes of Love is Blind, if that makes any sense. And then the next category for me is the supervillains that are great for TV. See, we're not judging on morality here. The villains of Love is Blind have made very entertaining seasons. They have even poked holes in the experiment. They have bonded us together. This category is basically people that we love to hate. And not send hate to them. They don't deserve death threats or anything, but they're the ones on the show that are great antagonists. And it's not that debatable that they're villains. They're usually self-aware that they're a bit villainous. Those people are great on TV, and I'm grateful for them on Love is Blind. So my next category is kind of like the friendly coworker energy. These are people I wouldn't mind hanging out with at like a monthly required happy hour. They seem friendly, they seem nice, or they've had a redemption arc maybe. This is just kind of like nice people. They were good on TV, not the very most entertaining, but seem nice and or interesting enough. Next up is the clout chasers category, people that didn't seem very genuine to me on the show. Seem to be very obviously there for fame, for followers, to be influencers. Those people are just not that interesting on TV. They're not the least interesting because sometimes if they are only there for clout, they'll try really ridiculous things to stand out and get famous. But at the same time, most of us can see through the fakeness, and sometimes they end up being villains. And then the next category is the I forgot everything about them category. I don't remember them, they're unmemorable. They might be very nice people, they might not have done anything wrong on the show, but they were just not interesting. I do have to warn y'all, I'm gonna be a little hazy on season 1. I only started doing these recaps during season 1 after the altar, not the actual main season. So season 1 is the haziest for me because I didn't do all of this note taking and recaps for it. But yeah, I just feel like some people are not great personalities for TV. And then finally, my final tier is the villains that make me concerned. These are villains that are typically not self-aware that they're villains, don't realize how they're hurting people, and these are villains that I find complicated and very annoying to discuss on my videos because people get really passionate about them. And I just think these people that will end up in this tier are better off just not being on TV. So let's finally get started. So we're going in order by season, and we're starting with the most recent. And we're starting strong with Bliss, who I already know. She's gonna be at the very top of the list. I stan Bliss so much. Fun fact, Bliss is the only person from Love is Blind that I follow on Instagram because I liked her so much. Yeah, you would think I keep up more with the Love is Blind world, but I prefer Reddit for that type of stuff. But I just loved her on season 4. She is so, I love following her on Instagram too. Her and Zach are going strong. Zach is next, so let me just go ahead and do him. For me, he's coworker energy. I'm so sorry. I know a lot of people love Zach, and he did grow on me a little bit by the end. Him and Bliss seem really cute, and now through her Instagram, I get to see a lot of like the behind the scenes of their relationship. Not that their relationship is scenes. I don't know. This is all warped because we're in TV world. Zach just gives me coworker vibes. Like, nothing against him. Again, the coworker energy tier is a great tier to be in. Next is Chelsea. I'm gonna go ahead and put her in the I stan category as well. She is a bit of my cringe queen of the season. Like I've said, being cringe is not a moral failing, and I think the world needed to see Chelsea. She was a great voice for women. She knew how to stand up to the bullies. She loves the color pink. She's very sure in what she wants, and she ended up having a good marriage. It seems like the edit kind of did her and Kwame dirty. And next is actually Kwame, and I'm gonna put him right there next to Chelsea at the top too. This is really surprising for me because for season 4 I didn't like care that much for Kwame, but seeing him at the reunion made me really like him, and he like stood up for his decision, and he seems really solid with Chelsea. So Kwame and Chelsea just got done dirty by that edit in season 4, and now they seem to be in a really good place, have like the bougiest apartment ever, and he just seemed much more confident and sure of himself. So he really won me over in the reunion. Had it not been for the reunion, Kwame would have definitely been in the coworker energy side. And Zach had a good moment in the reunion too, but And he just gave me coworker energy. I think because he always looks like a businessman to me. He's always in a little suit. Okay, next is, what's her name? I already forgot her name. Jackie. Okay, Jackie, see, this is the perfect candidate for villains that make me concerned. She was clearly not in a good place to be on TV. She made a lot of mistakes, screwed over Marshall. She seems to have a really toxic idea of what a relationship should be. I forgot to mention in my last video that like Vanessa really went easy on her at the reunion, and it's very true. I mean, my reunion recap was a mess because the reunion was a mess. I had forgotten to, I mean, it was obvious, like Vanessa did not press Jackie at all, and Jackie forever, I feel like, will be a coward to me for just not showing up at the reunion. And apparently I think that was like a last minute decision, so I think that speaks volumes that Jackie didn't show. Also, by the way, I saw on Reddit that they are filming After the Altar currently, or they just filmed it. They filmed it right after the reunion. It's probably coming sooner than we think. Next is Marshall. I think Marshall was really nice. I'm gonna put him in coworker energy just because it's really hard to judge Marshall because we didn't see him much outside of like this very difficult relationship he had with Jackie. It's hard for me to tell how Marshall would act in like a more normal partnership. But I really loved his friendship with Brett. It was sweet. I liked his sensitivity. Honestly, season 4 is probably the only guys that are gonna be up here in the top tier of like the nice tiers, because season 4 really showed out with the men and the women were a little messy. Next is Micah, and Micah's textbook, the only clout and fake persona. Like, I don't believe for 1 second she really meant to marry Paul, and I think someone said that recently on social media. Oh my god, who said it? Like from the cast recently, that Micah told all the girls that she never intended to marry Paul. Basically was there for clout. I forgot who said it though. But you know what? I think Paul is also in that fake. Well, no. I'm gonna put Paul in the coworker energy, but I'm gonna let him fall to the bottom. Just because he didn't do anything wrong. I just feel like he was a little bit there for followers too. So I'm gonna put him like in the coworker energy because he was friendly. He didn't do anything to prove he was being fake, and Micah just felt like very wannabe influencer. She had mean girl moments. Okay, Tiffany goes at the top right behind Bliss because Tiffany and Brett are, I think, my favorite couple ever. I mentioned that in my last video. I'm gonna finish out season 4. I think my pictures got jumbled. Tiffany and Brett are just up here together next to each other behind Bliss, because Bliss, I'm telling you right now, no one's beating Bliss. I followed her on Instagram. That's the highest honor. This is making me realize, like, oh my god, something in my eye. This is making me realize how good season 4 was. Like, have we stopped to think? It's like the best heroes, the best villains, best couple, best person. Okay, Irina. Okay, finally we have someone in our supervillains category. I loved Irina for TV. Everyone could agree she was a mean girl. She provoked this visceral reaction in us, and as much as it was unpleasant, it was amazing for television, and it felt real. She had these genuine moments. As much as she's probably there for clout too, she was confident enough in herself to show like her mean girl side, and I feel like she is self-aware as well. I think right now she's going on the like podcast apology tour, and like no one believes you, girl. But hey, at least you're high on this list because we're ranking by most entertaining. Okay, now we're on season 3, it looks like. Now that season 4 is up and like we had such a great variety going, season 3 is falling down on my list for sure. Favorite seasons wise, I would say season 4 is my favorite, then season 1, season 3, and season 2. Let me know if yours matches or if it's different. I would love to hear about it. I think for a lot of people, season 1 is probably the best because it's like the most genuine people. Starting with season 3 and Nancy. I stan Nancy. I'm gonna put her up here. I just loved her communication skills. Every time she was on screen in season 3, I was just like, I feel like learning from her how to like communicate better and be direct. I just really appreciated her for that. She was always mature, so eloquent. Like, I just looked up to her in a big sister kind of way. She has big sister energy. Next we have Alexa. Alexa's definitely coworker energy for me. It's also this category, I'm claiming it now, is also like a problematic fave kind of category, because I know Alexa's kind of like divisive, but she's funny. Like, I don't know, I just liked her confidence, and I think she's kind of funny. She would be a really fun coworker. Like, she would be the bestie coworker that would give you all the tea and complain about the boss with you, you know? Next is Andrew. Okay. I guess because of the fake tears, he has to be in the fake persona. The tears moment is pure wanting to be famous for being rejected or whatever. Not me saying that the stan category would be so hard to get into and everyone's there. Next we have Bartiz. Oh my god. So Bartiz is one of these villains that I feel like he doesn't know he's a villain. He thinks he's totally cool and chill. Like, I know everyone loves to hate on him, so he could be in like the super villains category, and like he's not like the worst for TV. But at the same time, I think his lack of self-awareness about being a villain is what puts him down in that category where, like, I don't think it's good for him to be on TV. Like, just go, live your life. We don't want to see it. That one is kind of a controversial opinion, but he makes me concerned with his lack of self-awareness about, like, him ever doing anything wrong. Next, we have Brennan. Ugh. I don't know. He's fine. He's fine. And he's a successful couple with Alexa. I'm putting him in a coworker energy because, especially in Texas, he seems like someone I would work with. He's just a little bland for TV. Honestly, I kind of want to put him in the I forgot everything about him category. But I remember him. And I think being in a successful marriage automatically bumps people up a notch on my list here. Next we have Cole. Oh my god, the most controversial. He definitely had his redemption arc on After the Altar. He didn't have much of a redemption arc in the first season, or in season 3, until like literally the last second. The cuties thing was something they had to go hunt the archives for. So we didn't see people in the reunion actually react to it and redeem him in the moment. I think we had to wait for him to get redeemed. First by the audience seeing the cutie story, and then in After the Altar, if that makes sense. But I think he's chill now. I mean, he made some kind of ignorant comments at first, but he went through a lot in the end and was redeemed, I think, with that cuties moment. And just seeing him continue having composure, like in After the Altar, he handled things very maturely, and I can definitely picture working with him in corporate America. Next is Colleen. I'm so sorry to Colleen. She's gonna have to be the first in I Forgot Everything About Her. That's not actually true. I remember she does ballet, but that's about it, girl. I don't even know what's going on with Colleen. Did they ever move in together? But they're married, right? They're married? Crazy. Like, it just dawned on me again. Anyway, so she is in a successful marriage for the franchise, but unfortunately that doesn't bump her up for me because I did not approve of that marriage. I feel like we don't get to see much of the real her because she seems very controlled. Hopefully not, though. I hope she's happy and healthy, and maybe they never moved in together. I don't know. Next we have Matt, and he makes me concerned. I don't know where the fandom stands with him, but I feel like a lot of people have agreed in my comments that he's a little unhinged seeming and scary, but definitely not self-aware about it. It's hard to explain, but Matt is just a little scary to me from what we saw on the show. Next we have Raven, and I'm putting her in the I Stan. I love her. She was the unexpected fan favorite of season 3. She seems to be dating someone new, and I'm happy for her because she got so screwed over by SK. Like, screw that guy. SK is next, and I'm gonna put him in the fake persona category. I should put him in a villain category, but his villainy happened off the show, so it's hard for me to figure out how to handle that. I think the clout chaser and fake tier fits him well because he did play up this whole fake persona for us on the show, and that does make him a super villain, but it doesn't necessarily make him great for TV because his super villainous didn't really show on camera. He seemed like a just general nice guy. I don't know, I just feel like the category that involves fakeness and clout is the most fitting for SK, even though he is villainous in my eyes. Like, honestly, one of the worst villains because very much a wolf in sheep's clothing. If you don't remember, he cheated on Raven after proposing to her on After the Altar. And next we have Zainab, definitely in the villains at the bottom category, because I don't think there's a more intense reaction from people than it when I discuss her at all. And she has just handled everything very immaturely. She feels a little bit stuck in high school, and she just feels like she needs a lot of like therapy, and it seems like she's getting it according to her, but she should not have been on TV. I think she would have been a lot better off in her life just avoiding being on TV. I bet she gets a lot of hate. And that's the same for anyone in this tier. Like, they are getting so much hate. It's probably not great for their mental health, and if they're already struggling with mental health, potentially, like, being on TV is not good. So next, we're getting into season 2, and we have Shake. Okay, Shake is definitely a supervillain, great for TV. He was unashamedly shitty to Deep D, but I mean, I gotta say, he was entertaining, and he sort of set up Deep D to have this great moment at the altar where she proclaimed her own self-love and stuff. So I think it at least worked out enough for her. It's not worth all the mean comments he said about her, but maybe it is if she kind of made it her brand a lot. So yeah, but supervillain, and he was great at the reunion, kind of calling people out on their BS and stuff. So great for TV, great guy for TV, iconic villain of Love Is Blind. Next we have Danielle, and her, I'm so sorry, she's nice, but she's a little forgettable for me. All I remember is that she dances on tables and wears hot dog costumes. I feel like we didn't get to know her very well. She seems like a lovely person though. Next we have Deep D. It's hard because she had some good moments. She had her moments. Like, I liked her a lot in the main season. Obviously, she had a great finale. Not good for her relationship, but you know what I mean. Like, good for her brand and image. But then on After the Altar, she was trying so hard to make the Kyle thing seem real. Was she trying hard? I don't know, because I don't think anyone believed it. But now she's doing that podcast with Natalie, and some of y'all had told me it's kind of fine, it's good, so I checked out an episode. And she seems more chill there, more nice and more real. They seem to get candid about some things. It's not super like sugar-coated. So I'm really conflicted on Deep D because I liked her a lot in the season. Didn't love her after the altar. Thought she was kind of clout chasey at that point. And now I'm like, okay, she's chill. I'm going to put her in coworker energy. Her and Natalie both give me major coworker vibes. Ayana, I'm going to go ahead and put her in the I Stan. I actually watched, the episode I watched of Deep D and Natalie's podcast was with Ayana as a guest. And I loved hearing from her. She's another one who's like great at communicating and seems just very like enlightened or knows herself well. And on that podcast, she was just great. She kept it so real. She talked about how Jarrett cheated on her. And she protected him on After the Altar and stuff. I like Ayana a lot. I think she kept it real. Okay, Jarrett. Jarrett, honestly, I'm going to put him... He is a villain, but all his villainy happened off camera, so we don't get to, like, really judge it in terms of, like, good for TV or not good for TV. He was kind of boring. Not gonna lie. So I'm putting him in the I forgot everything about him. Because I don't know much about him except for he likes to party all night. Is that a personality trait? I guess. Oh, next is Kyle, clout chaser. Honestly, the top clout chaser. I'm gonna put him at the top. It seems like afterwards things have come out saying that like Deep D was more down to try out a relationship with Kyle, while Kyle was just doing it for cameras. I don't know if I totally believe that. I think Deep D had a somewhat equal role in like trying to sell us this fake relationship. I think there's been like texts leaked. This cast, season 2 cast is kind of the messiest, I think, on social media. Next is Mallory. Ugh, so sorry. I like Mallory a lot, and I kind of want to put her in coworker energy, but I'm so sorry. Like, I feel like her personality doesn't come across on TV. She seems lovely. just, I don't know anything about her, and the whole time, the whole season, it felt like she was just putting on a front. Next is Natalie. Honestly, at the very top of coworker energy. She embodies coworker energy for me. She's chill, kind of down to earth, nice, but not like hee hee ha ha entertaining for TV. Next is Nick, and he's another one that I'm like just right there with Danielle. This couple was kind of bland, and all I remember about him is he seems to have some sort of OCD where like things don't touch and stuff. He's like really picky. That couple never had much of a personality. I never thought they'd say yes because they seemed like not that in. I don't know. Next is Sal. Okay, y'all gonna hate me for this, but I'm putting him in the clout chasing category. He seems nice, but I think he was there for exposure. He has said like the producers were the ones behind all the singing, but I can't help but think he was there just for the exposure to become a content influencer type person. His new girlfriend that he brought to After the Altar had an OnlyFans already, so he just really felt like he was trying to use the show as a stepping stone, and that's about it. Next we have Shayna. Honestly, I'm putting her in the supervillains category. She didn't do anything that crazy. I just think she was like kind of not afraid to be like very particular or like very upfront. I don't know. I think she's a good villain. She's not like as a super villainous as the other two in this category, but she was trying to stir the pot with like Shane and Natalie stuff, always squinting at people with her Joanne hat. I remember all that. But it's an honor to be in that category. She should be honored. And then Shane, I'm putting him as well in the super villains category. He wasn't that villainous. It's more like after his season on social media, he is kind of like the ultimate troll. He's been kind of one of the most like trying to like expose people and trying, I don't know, on social media he's a bit of a troll, and that's why I say he's a super villain and in that category, because he's kind of down to be crazy on TV, and that's entertaining. He's also been on That Perfect Match show. I mean, so has Bartiz, but I just think he's unself-aware, and Shane seems a little more self-aware. I don't know. Shane is a weird one. Okay, next I'm gonna speed run season 1 because I don't even remember it. So here we have Lauren and Cameron. Let's just do them together. I'm putting them in the top category. You know, they established the franchise as legitimate, and Netflix has them to thank, honestly. Wait, that's not Cameron? Oh shit, that's not Cameron. That's, I think, Kenny? Oh god, that really forgettable couple from season 1. So my bad. Cameron's over here. I put Cameron there next to Lauren. I will say Cameron is a little boring, but them together just, they are mother and father of Love is Blind, you know. Next we have Mark. Wasn't he kind of a clout chaser? I don't remember at this point. I think he was there for clout, from what I remember. No, I'm putting him in I forgot, because I forgot everything. Damien, oh, clout chaser. I don't like him. Maybe I'm just biased putting him there, but he did seem like he was there for followers. He's trying to get on all the other shows, keeps trying to date Francesca of Too Hot to Handle. Next is Janina. I definitely remember Janina. I feel like she's almost like a supervillain, but I'm just gonna put her in like coworker energy category. Or is she a supervillain? She wasn't like a villain, but she was like so good for TV. Okay, I'm gonna put her in the supervillains category, but like just the dramatics with her theatrics were everything, and it made season 1 great. Oh my god, this guy Carlton, he made me concerned. That was the couple, yeah, and Diamond. I'm gonna put both of them in concerned. Actually no, Diamond, I think she had a redemption on After the Altar, didn't she? I don't know. Actually, I forgot her. Oh, Natalie, come back. I forgot. If she did, and then move her there. But Carlton, that he was so concerning. He was like really, was he like homophobic? They broke up in the honeymoon. Barely remember their names. I had to look it up. Next is Amber. Amber's a bit of a pick-me, but her and Barnett have been a successful marriage from Love is Blind, and they have helped as much as Lauren and Cameron get all the credit. They have helped the Love is Blind franchise be legitimate. So I'm putting them in coworker energy / redemption, because I think they were both a little bit hated on during their season, but they have proved through the years that they've stayed together and are going strong, I believe. That's kind of like a redemption arc to me, that like even though people didn't love them as personas on TV, they still are genuine. They're not in the clout chaser category at all. Next is Jessica. Okay, I'm putting her in supervillains. Like, she wasn't a villain. Oh my god. This category changed. It's just like people that had antagonistic scenes or something. But Jessica was just iconic. Honestly, move her up. Move her up. She was a freaking meme during the pandemic when we were all sad and lonely. It was just her and her in the pod. It got us through the first hardships of the pandemic, and she was sort of the face of Love is Blind, and she needs to be recognized for being iconic in that way. And finally, Kelly, ending with the least memorable couple on Love is Blind history. I barely remember. That couple was so unmemorable and bad for TV because they were just so bland, and then they said no at the end, so there was just nothing to them. I couldn't tell you one thing about Kenny or Kelly. Not one fact about their job, their family, their lives, any moment they had. So that's my ranking. This is probably the most satisfactory ranking system I have made yet. I always struggle picking like the categories of each thing, because best to worst, how do you judge just a contestant best to worst? I had to go off of entertainment value because we are watching a TV show. I'm sure you agree and disagree with certain aspects of my list. I would love to hear what you think in the comments below. Maybe just who are your top people you stan, who are your top villainous types or nice people, whatever criteria you find most effective. But I would love to hear about y'all's favorite seasons and how they stack up so far. I feel like going into the next season of Love is Blind, it's gonna be kind of like the show should be really hitting its stride, and it'll be kind of like we're past the beginning era. We got 4 seasons under our belt, and we don't know what the future holds. Season 4 knocked it out of the park, to be honest. I'll be here for after the Ultra Season 4. I'll be here for the Ultimatum Season 2. That's gonna be fun. And also, like, my post schedule has been kind of all over the place because now I'm going by like the Netflix releases mostly, as well as some other random videos sprinkled in between. So I'm not necessarily posting like once a week or twice a week like I was before, because I have a better sense of what y'all want. And I still want to make random videos that y'all might not love, but if there's anything in particular you want me to cover, feel free to comment below and I'll consider it. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed. I put out new videos whenever I feel like it about TV, pop culture, internet trends, and other miscellaneous things. And you can follow me at Miscellaneous on Instagram or Twitter to find out about new videos, or just turn on the bell notification here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!